Hi, I'm Emma. I'm one of the third year design students at Goldsmiths. As you probably already know from the other videos on this channel, our studios were closed. Well, they're not closed yet, they will be closed as of Friday. But we were told on Monday to pack up and leave. It's now Thursday, so I've moved back with my parents. I've left London. So I was just gonna give a quick tour of the space that I'm in. I've created like a little cubby in my bedroom, so that's a thing. So as you come in my bedroom, you've kind of got bed on this side, but then studio on this side, and I've actually positioned the desk so you've got like a little barricade between room and studio. So I've set up all my physical computing stuff, just because it's all been in a box in the studio. So I think I actually have more room here than I did there to set up this kind of thing. So that's good. And then before we left, I collected loads of post-its. So I've got like, I don't know, just stuff that was up in the studio, because I think that helps for mindset. I stole this one and this one off of the walls, and then the other two was something that I requested from someone and they let me buy one, so that was nice. Books. I have way too many books, and a slight obsession with Stanley Onward. You know, his books are everywhere. Tools, pens, speaker, essential for music and things. Then these are, I'll step back a bit, these are all the collages and kind of image making that I was doing before we left uni. So I've put them up on the wall here, they were up on the wall in the studio, just for my own mindset really. And then these are kind of like project maps that I've been doing, just trying to like understand and conceptualize the project and how I want to understand it and how I want to communicate it to other people. But this, yeah, I don't really know. But the maps, like, so this one, I did this one first. No, this one was first. So 1, 2, 3. Then I was thinking, okay, maybe I can graph this. And then actually I ended up making like a big Venn diagram thing. So that was fun. And then this is the desk space. So I've got, again, like more books. I've got a nice little cubby here in the desk so I can see out the window, laptop, and just general like studio stuff, but you know, like it's kind of separate from the rest of the bedroom, so that's really nice. So when I'm sat there I feel like, okay, I'm gonna work now, this is a good thing to do. So I think it's worth saying that none of this has been a particularly easy process. We kind of just had to, you know, make the best of it. Like, obviously loads of people are self-isolating at the minute, so I made the decision to come home and set up like a stable working environment in a place that I knew I'd be able to stay. I don't know if it's that easy for everyone, but I think it's just important to kind of do like the best you can for yourself, and then also try and remain in a position where you're able to keep making work and keep practicing. And for me, I need to have like a stable space. Like, if anyone knows me, I'll go to the studio at 10 o'clock in the morning and then I won't leave until 5, and that is like, you know, solid routine workspace, head in the right place, ready to engage, and then clock off at 5 o'clock, go home, and then come back the next day and do it again. I don't know if that works for everyone, but that's just what works for me, so that's why I've made the decisions I've made. In terms of project, the drilling outside my room, the joys of being at home. My project is about the internet, and it's kind of about like the real and the virtual, and then the space and the disconnects between those two things, and then like the anxiety that exists within that space. And so initially I started to make objects, so I've got it, I'm going to call them internet objects, that would kind of like physicalize or make that kind of electrical technical thing into something physical and visible that you could see. And if you want, at some point I can show you the objects and explain what they do and why I made the decisions to make various objects. But I'm now at a point where I don't know what the best thing is to make next, because I kind of feel like that territory has been explored a little bit, and I'm saying to myself, oh, this isn't where the project sits anymore. So I need to make some decisions between now and kind of the start of next week. So ideally by Monday I need to be sitting down and saying, okay, this is what I'm doing and this is why I'm doing it, in order to kind of make the next step for the project. But also when you're by yourself and you've got no point of reference, like I didn't realise, but I listen a lot to what other people are saying, or just like the atmosphere that's going on around, or people looking at my work and going, oh, that reminds me of this. That to me was so kind of integral, and I think almost subconsciously my mind is doing that. So when it's not there, I'm kind of like, well, what now? So the maps for me is one way of kind of like iterating. Making objects is another way of iterating. I do a lot of collage, so there's some collages here. That's one way for me to think through my ideas. So I think now I'm out of the studio, I'm going to be more reliant than ever on kind of like my own processes. But then also, like, I think the vlogs are going to help, for one, because I'm talking, although it's not like a specific person standing right in front of me, I'm having to articulate whatever it is to whoever it is on the other end of the camera. But also it's kind of like the feedback loop of this, but then also like other people posting videos. That's really nice because you get to see it and you're like, oh, okay, like that person's doing a thing and that's good. So, you know, and you don't necessarily think, oh, I'm going to copy that, but you think like, oh, well, my way of doing that is slightly different, but it's still similar. So it's just a case of like having kind of trigger points in your own head. And like a large part of design practice is bouncing that off other people. And I think anyone, like I used to be able to think to myself, oh, you know, I can work by myself. But the moment you step kind of into, especially like BA design at Goldsmiths, but like any kind of collaborative working environment, as soon as you then take the people away, you're like, shit, what do I do now? So yeah, that's a valuable learning experience from this. So we're all kind of virtualizing our interactions, and it's kind of ironic really, because my whole project was about the anxiety and the hatred of like virtual space and the disconnect from reality, and then like delocalizing things. But actually now it's kind of come full circle, because I'm essentially living the own nightmare that my project outlined. So yeah, that's the state of play at the moment. I plan to, you know, keep doing things, keep thinking, and then hopefully something will evolve within the next, you know, few days to a week. And then I'll have some solid, like, because there's kind of intangible progress where you're like, okay, you know, that's a step, that's a step, that's a step. But then to actually have something solid that's like, yeah, that's what I'm going with, you need quite a lot of those moments. So I'm just waiting for the moments. And by waiting, I don't mean I'm just like sitting here just waiting, but you know, taking the little steps towards the bigger goals. So yeah, thanks for watching. Keep updated with the Bad Isolation YouTube channel, because I'm sure great things are to come on there. Bye.